I'm talking, but I do need to see where I am, read the screen. So comments after or during, let me know what you think. I can soon put the camera back facing the screen in a direct line, which is more conventional. I can also try the zoom feature. I've used it today to take out some of the background, so if I get it set up right and use the zoom as well, should be able to focus a little bit more on me, less of the background. So messages are here, that's all good.
Bring it.
Who's watching Zeke? And the other option I've got, obviously, is to make it easier, more sociable, is to turn on my audio for the comments. Try not to fall behind the red beacon. So that works. I could probably talk normally and Siri would understand me, but possibly not. So when I talk to my phone, I talk very clearly, so it understands me. I wouldn't want to talk like that all the time. 24 seconds to go. I don't feel that warm today. My fan's blowing. Again, any background noise, you have to let me know. Any feedback, welcome. Either on the YouTube channel straight away, obviously, underneath the video that's broadcasting, or you can catch up with Discord or Facebook.
Right on.
And off we go. There's a few dropping off the back already. Push up, come on. There's Mr. Gardner. Afternoon, sir. He's just near me. There he is. Find his name. Give him a click. And then you can give a ride on. So you can see Stuart Gardner from my vantage point there. He's just in front of me. Giving him a ride on. And then the camera pans around, focused on him, until I click back to me. So back to me. So we're making a good effort today to maintain no more than a 30-second gap between us and the beacon. So I'll let people know that. So you can see here, nice little split developing already. And we'll try to tuck everybody back in. So we've got a couple of people 10 seconds off, 30 seconds off, so we'll have a look at dropping back for those. And I think that's Frank. We'll have a look there. That's all good. That's Thomas, which I will do when I get my mouse to click. Sometimes catches the oh no, there we go. There we go. Give him a ride on. There he is, just in front of me. And then back to me. So give these guys a ride on, just a short way behind. And then once you get to that point, this probably will be quite a way back. So this is still good, just 10 seconds off. Just bringing it back. Anyone with me, stay close and we'll head back. Let's go, Daniel. Yep, Daniel's kicking it. You can see there. Nice one, mate. That's what we like to see. Superb. So we get nicely back in the group. And then we just tuck on the end. There's 4 or 5 dropped riders, you can see there. It's very difficult. I could drop back to them, but if they've not managed to maintain the pace for the first 6 minutes, then it makes it very difficult to estimate whether they'd maintain the pace for another 36, 40, 50 minutes. It is easier once you're in the draft to maintain the pace. If you're out of it, like I am at the moment, you need to push at least 1 watt per kilogram more to catch up. So you can see here, to make any inroads, I'm having to spin it up a lot quicker. And you'll see my numbers there, 4.8, 5.6.1. and that's just pushing to get back just off of the pace I am now. So you can see Louis there is asking one of the riders off the back slightly that is coming up. Does he need a wheel? About 17 seconds behind, coming up 27 seconds. It's quite a long way back. And this is behind me, and I'm obviously 14 seconds behind the lead, so that puts him nearly a minute behind the lead. It's a big gap to chase down. Here they come. There's Louis, and then Mr. Miller, obviously we can hang on for. That's looking good. They've come past me, and that's a nice little effort. So if he can sustain that effort, and we have a nice little gruppetto here. There's Daniel and Louis just behind me. I can ease back, let them catch me up. We can have a nice little sweep group, which is lovely. When you're sweeping on your own it's quite hard, but with a whole team of you, you can share the load at the front like we do on a team time trial, and the person at the back that's trying to catch back on can just tuck into the draft, and I'd say take it a little bit easier. You still have to put out 4 if the front push in 5, otherwise the front of your little gruppetto will break away from you. So chasing down any group is hard work, no question about it. The best thing to do is not get off the back in the first place. Really make an effort. These social rides are as much as you develop the skills to ride with other people, to take account of surges, ups and downs on the course, varying paces. You can easily be spat out the back. Generally speaking, when it goes downhill and you're not prepared to put a kick in, you almost need to kick downhill. Freewheeling isn't so efficient on Zwift. Pushing uphill always gives you that boost of effort. The resistance kicks in on the trainer and you get a surge of your power, and that's where the rolling courses like New York and the new Titans Grove, possibly the jungle circuit, they're quite difficult to lead on, to keep a group together. How we doing, boys? Question mark. So you can see here Lucas has dropped off, but my mouse pad's playing up, so we'll see what what happens. Incredibly frustrating. Could be the battery's getting low. We'll check that out in a bit. Darling, are you able to come in here for a second? No, we're okay, thank you. So you can see there, Lucas came past us and just dropped off the back. So as I stayed with him, he just stayed further and further behind until he's really too fast to chase back on. This is a nice place to be. Again, staring at the screen, stare at the camera. Hello. I'll do my best. There is a lot going on the screen. It can be quite difficult to see. What had happened is my battery cover had come unpopped, so the batteries were just lifting, losing a little bit of the signal. So now I'm back in. Should be good. That's a lovely blob we've got going. Proper blobbage is what we need. Watching the stream, Louis. Can't type, keeps trying to type Lois. He said he needs to get himself a cool headband. That might be a reference to my Hello Kitty bandana. It may not. We'll see. He maybe knows nothing about me. It was just an example. It's good. There's Daniel tucking in. T. Kim just in front of us on the Tron bike there. Why does it have to rain in London? It just does. This is the UK. Nice little edge over the bridge, around the corner, down and towards the underground, and then we're on the hill. That's just sweat. So Louis says, I'm not sure. There's Mr. Gardner bringing it up the rear. Whoops, there they go, around the corner. Don't let me lose. Nice bike, Stu. Here's the underground. It's not raining in here. Whoops. Again, a couple of riders just stop and you think it's difficult to know whether they've had a technical, a malfunction or something, or if they're actually just pausing. So here we can have a nice split. We can chase that back down. Stuart is very accomplished on the team side. He knows his way around a group of 6 or 7 riders. And we'll pick this pace back up and we'll head back to the group. And you see there, the chase down on what? 10 seconds behind the back of the group. So from 18 minutes, I'll be doing 4.5. So 5.6, 4.5, and as we come around the corner, there's the start of the climb. So to get right back into the group, it just goes to show I'm back in the group and it's been nearly a minute, and that's nearly a minute at 4.5, 5. You've got to stay with the group. But cheers, Louis. It must be odd typing something and having to wait 30 seconds for a reply. This is good now, tucked on the back. And then joining in. I've got one more gear to go, and that's me in my lowest gear, and then I'm just spinning. You can see 85 up to 90 RPM and just tucked on the back. 2.7 is racing for me. 2.7 I've said is racing. I'm telling a fib. I'm actually a little bit quicker than that, but only just. My average ride pace is around about 3.8, maybe 3.9. I think I've once got up to 4 on a 20-minute race, but really for a 40-50 minute ride you're definitely talking 3.5. I can hit 5 or 6 watts per kilogram. I can even hit 10 watts per kilogram for 12 seconds. I think most people can. Pace is the watts per kilogram of the lead rider. Averaged over the whole ride. I'm currently at 2.7. Ticking along nicely. Me's too. Mess. Ah, is it a mess, Fernando? What's wrong with the Tron bike? I've got one, I just never ride it. I like to ride a real bike that I'll never be able to afford to own. so I put the Millensteins on it sometimes at 10 grand a pair. Yeah, won't be getting one of them soon. Love it. Yep. That is one thing that put me off. Excuse me. Lewis just said that he likes to see himself standing up and out of the saddle, and the Tron bikes just don't do that. That you stay sat down the whole time. So where my avatar here is standing up, that's because my cadence has gone below 70, and the rider next to me might be pedaling slower, but they stay sat down. If I speed up the cadence, get it back over 70, it sits back down again. This only happens on an incline of 3% or above. So you can see there, the rider in front's pedaling slower. Good old Louis, great demonstration. Thanks, mate. There we are. And as I slow down my pedaling, as I slow down my cadence, he comes past me. Oh, bit of slippage there. What's Stu, I thought that was 3 Zs then. I thought I was putting you to sleep, mate. So there we go, just up and down in the saddle. 75. Should have sat down by now. So perhaps they've adjusted that. Perhaps you have to go over 80 to sit down. So 76. 86, yep, maybe. And you can see we've all got quite spread out. Here comes James, scooting past me. That's one of the other things a sweep can do. You can press one click on the companion app and you can give multiple ride-ons. Holding 2.9 in the group, which up a hill isn't that bad. It's quite difficult to ride at a slower pace than your natural. If you slow your cadence down and push a higher gear, it can be really fatiguing. So it's much better for a group possibly to up the output for a short time, up a climb, take it easy on the way back down, let gravity take over, freewheel to somewhere flat, which is just past the underground on this course, and then let the back markers catch up. It's just fairer, I think. You need to ride at a pace that's comfortable for everybody in the group, and when you do a group ride like this, there's no restrictions. On who can enter. There's obviously just not much draft effect when you're travelling a bit slower. So if I stay just in front of James, James is at 2.3, and again 2.8 actually at that point, so he's gone just in front of me. You can see it's quite a distinct effect. If you put in slightly more effort, you'll get more out. But if you're expecting 2.7 max on a ride that's an average 2.7, it won't happen. If you want a maximum 2.7, you need to join a sub 2 ride, and then the climbs on that don't much go above 2.5, but they won't stay at 2. That's almost guaranteed, even in the short term. And here's the start finish banner, the climb finish banner. And we're 66 out of 70 up the climb. So good shout, Stefan, thank you. So we know where we are. There's too many names for me to see where Stefan is, because I've only got 5 names above me on the list. So it's very easy to get dropped off the back, and you can see here I'm pedalling quite fast, up to 70 kilometers an hour, allegedly. I never really look at the speeds on Zwift because I don't feel that they're accurate, but I'm only outputting 2.8 watts per kilogram, 2.7 now. But if you let gravity take over, it reduces your watts per kilogram, even though you're putting in what's apparently the same effort. So you actually need to start to pedal a little bit more firmly to just maintain the 2 point something or 3 point something that you were doing before. That's one way to wave, and the other way is to hit this key here. You can just say hi to everybody. So we're quite a way back. At 10 seconds, it's a little bit more than 10 now. You can see it's 14:12 to the nearest rider in the first group, and they'll be a little way off too. So we'll punch it through. Back to the underground. There's a short climb out of the underground, we can catch up then. You won't escape me, Louis, except maybe on the team time trial. So here we're heading through the underground, and then we'll be back up around the corner over Tower Bridge. nice. Just a lovely little group here, and I think this pace 3.5 should bring us back. But if 5 watts per kilogram takes you over a minute to close down 10 seconds, this is going to take about 10 minutes. So if we're lucky, by 45 minutes into the ride, if we carry on at this pace, we'll maybe get back to the beacon. So a nice little power push up the slope. Another little group here. So this is Tower Bridge. We'll have a wide shot. And you can see there just a few riders coming off the back. The blue dots on the mini map, top right hand corner, are our relative positions. You can see here the guy in front of me, that's a time trial bike. You won't be getting any draft effect from being behind somebody. I can draft off of him like I am now. My avatar's nicely sat up. If you watch my rider's position change, if I go past him, my shoulders will drop and I'll be lower on the bike. There we go. So now I'm lower on the bike, on the handlebars. we both hit the incline at the same time. And then you sit up when you're behind other riders. So I'll just ease back, join in with the tail enders. Just a minute or so, second or so, there they are. So, no one else? Still looking? Yeah, there are quite a few that have dropped. It's difficult to catch back up now, as we've said. It's quite a challenge. It's quite a big output. If you've dropped, you've probably dropped because you couldn't sustain the watts anyway. But yeah, staying on 2.5 at the front. If they really want the back group to catch, they could really do with dropping to even 2. But that's sometimes a little unfair on the riders that wanted a decent workout and that they need the slightly higher watts. So that's through the start finish banner. So you can see there, Daniel said he'd go with the second group. I think to stay with the third group, we'd just be too far off the pace, too far off the front. So, are we coming back? So if we're heading back, then we just need to pick up the pace a little bit, maybe 3.5 or 4, and just stay grouped up. That's a shame. It's not easy to chase back, as I say. There's a lot required. So if they just stay tucked onto me, keeping the draft. I think you only see your own rider sit up when it's in the draft. So you can see here as I drop behind somebody else, my avatar there just sits up a little bit, and then when he drops out, it drops his shoulders. Nice one. Yeah, it's a brand new race on a Saturday afternoon, UK time. 4:30, 5:30 European time. Great efforts here from these guys. My biggest concern, in a way, is we're actually only sweeping one guy here. Two of the guys in this group of four apart from me are sweepers anyway, so it's our job to stick together and bring up the rear. So everybody that we go past, do your best to stick on. Yes, 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 come on, come on, Huck, jump on, jump on, jump on. Yes, come on. Stick with it. We can do this. Come on. You can see they're just around the corner. We've got this nice little group here. Stay with us. You can see there, nearly back is actually 26 seconds. So that's not really nearly back at all. 6 seconds would be nearly back. And even that takes an effort to get closed down. This is lovely. This is a proper sweep group. Thanks Daniel, beat me to it. So you can see down to 19 seconds, still pushing 5. Anyone fancy a sprint? Anyone fancy a sprint? Great effort, that was good. So you can see there, 45 minutes. I said we'd be around about 45 minutes when we caught back up. I wasn't expecting to push 4.5 to 5 to do it. So it does just go to show, even though the front's slowed, there's massive efforts required when you get off the back. I'm not saying that just because I'm a sweeper and I like helping people back on. But those efforts are required. Fine. Perfect. Crack it. He lied. So there's your sprint banner. 15th last time, 17th this time. There might be a few PBs there. Oh, feather! Oh, feather! I'm saving that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good. So there's a few people on the bottom of my screen there. You can see 1 minute and 5 seconds behind me. It's not a chase that's doable. And you feel bad leaving people to ride on their own. But if all 4 or 5 of those all sat around, obviously 1 minute, 2 of them together, 1:49, 2:41, they all need to bunch up. Either make an effort to catch up the 1 minute guy, or if you're off of a minute and there's people a minute behind you, just soft pedal for a little bit. And then you'll be riding in your own little group, maybe only of 5 or 6, but it still then becomes a bit more social. And if you're struggling to keep up without a mechanical, maybe you're just a bit tired, come back another day, have another go. We've got Sunday mornings, Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, a couple of race efforts. They're hardly what you call social. So you can see a couple of tail enders there just coming around the bend, down the mini map, around the roundabout there. You can see just to the right of us, they're up here. You can see what's going on. I'm just at the back of the main group, just in front of 3 or 4 riders behind us. Someone's powering through there. Nice catch, well done. That was Mr. Lidston. Steve, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So quick. Steve Lidston, there we go. Nice to try to remember people's names. I apologise if I call you Huck and your name was something else. I'm sure I remembered that right. So come along then, gentlemen. We're here again, nearly 10 seconds off the pace. What are you doing? Are we catching up, or are we having our own little party at the back? I don't mind our own little party at the back. But yes, there they go. Woohoo! Let's go. We'll catch up. Hey Daniel, give us a wave. Come on Daniel, give us a wave. No. Mine! Exclamation mark. Nice one. I'm glad you can hear me laughing, Louis. Nobody else will have a clue what I was laughing at then. But it was the cake. Doesn't always translate well on the text, but I got it. I can be first. Too hard to type. I can be first to reach it, but I won't be first up it. Let's go. Into the underground, down the escalator, 15%. Whee! Right-hander, left-hander, and tuck back into the groove in about another 10 seconds. Make that 20 seconds, and you can see even this 6 seconds to chase down takes some doing. You want to get rid of the lightsaber and have the yellow beacon back of the yellow beacon. It's nice when you're sweeping properly to match the rider that's having trouble and just add half a watt, maybe 1 watt per kilogram. If they're drafting off of you, they can carry on at their own pace but actually get more kilometers per hour, miles per hour on the ground. So whilst their output stays the same, they get dragged along. A little bit like what I'm going to do now. My output will stay the same because I've tripped the featherweight power up here. I'll actually be climbing faster relative to my power output because I'm relatively lighter for the duration. It lasts about 15 seconds. Cheers, Vaughan. put a ride on, and we'll send a couple more out while we can. So the stream looking okay, Louis. Any drop frames, any buffering? If you could let me know, because I've changed from Streamlabs OBS to OBS Studio. Slightly different converter, broadcasting software. Same principle. I've obviously got online, so I got that bit right. But how was it? Sound okay? Graphics okay? We'll have to see. I changed the encoder on the Streamlabs software and I actually got it to be much clearer, but I've not had a chance to play with this one yet. This is my first actual broadcast using OBS Studio, which is the ones that Zico, Stuart are using. Go on, Mr. Wolf, off you go. What's he digging? Be interesting. I'm not playing any tunes, not today. Cool. The problem with having tunes is that if the speaker picks, the microphone picks them up, then YouTube recognises them, just blanks the audio. I'm topless, but you know, it gets quite warm in these situations under the bright lights, big city, you know. I think I mentioned that we were streaming at the beginning, but people may have missed it. There's some ride-ons. Cheers, Stefan. Hi, Blob. Let's go. You can't quite hear it, I don't think. Each extra percentage gets a little whir from the resistance unit behind me, and it makes pedalling just that little bit harder. Up to, I think, a simulated incline of 10%. The newer trainers will go up to 14 or even 17%. So when the incline goes above 10%, you just get a reduction in your speed relative to the extra above the 14 or whatever it is you might be doing. I mean, I think I've felt an increase up to 14, but according to the manual it simulates 10. It could well be there's some variation in that. So we'll see where I'm riding. There's my graph. You can see there across the bottom, a little bit of an effort to catch back on. That was underneath the in the underground when I was trying to catch back up, and then when I've caught back up, you can see that 2.7 here is into that blue zone. Mr. Cronell followed me today on the companion app. I think it's his wife Ula that rides with us sometimes. Ula Cronell, there you go, DBR. So yeah, Danish bike riders, that's the two of them. They may not be husband and wife. They may be brother and sister. I don't know. So we'll see. Let's go back to Zwifters nearby. And I don't know where he is. Henrik, there we go. Henrik. Good to see you, mate. I think it's always easier riding on Zwift because it gives me 16 kilometres an hour, and I just think the actual speeds are unrealistic. Even with your power output, if that was perfectly accurate, you'd still get more miles per hour on the floor because it doesn't simulate wind resistance or crosswinds or even the balance required. Takes some of your effort, takes some of the power away from the pedals. So I think just moving my legs with nothing else to think about automatically makes me faster. So I very rarely look at speed. Somebody asked me on a group ride what was the average watts per the average kilometres per hour. I honestly couldn't say. I really just look at the little number underneath my name, 2.8. That's it. I keep that around about 2.6 on certain rides, 3.1 on others, 2.4 depending on the ride I'm doing, and I pretend to keep it around 3.8 when I climb the Alp, but I think it's probably near 3.5. Nice. There's Daniel being encouraging as always. I'll mention that to him. Thanks, Dwight. Dwight Williams from WKG, the team I used to ride for before I joined the vegan Zwift team at Stefan's request, which was nice. He sent me a few messages. I had a winter league I was competing in, and I said once the winter league was done I'd switch. So I ride with vegan Zwift team compete in their colours. The team time trial conflicts with work at the moment, so I can't commit to it unfortunately, but things will change. I'll have a different evening off, or a different work evening, take a Thursday evening off and then be able to ride. It's very difficult to do the mixed salad at 4:30 and then race at 7:30. That would be quite tough. So we're tucking in here with Stefan. Not sure where Louis got to. That'll be Louis. He's just off in front of me. Somebody's feather just blew off. Yeah, there he is. I didn't see your name, mate. I just saw your comment. Whoops. We're flying past the beacon. Sorry, Stefan. He doesn't like us to get too far in front. There they are. So this is a super tuck position. Now if I don't pedal, I won't keep up with these guys because they're heavier than me. I actually need to pedal just to maintain the same kilometers per hour. Same with Stefan. If you have a look, he's only 58 kilos, so he's even lighter than me. I'm at 65. We both we both need to pedal just to, just to keep up with these guys. It makes me laugh. I hope you're seeing this. Take a look, Stu. So there they go, -6, that's a bit more even. Cool. Minus the B. Team, it's like comb. Here's the escalator, and here's this 15%. So if you listen to the trainer, you probably can't hear it, but that without changing down the gear, you can see how much more effort I had to put in, and the graph at the bottom shows. The little spike is where I kept it in higher gear, and Zwift knew I was going uphill, but where my trainer hadn't quite registered the change. So that's the other thing about the quality trainers, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but I think they have a more rapid response to changes. But when you go through the rollers on Titan's Grove, it's possible that you're starting to go downhill and your trainer's only just caught up with the uphill, and then as you go up the other side it's lessening the resistance rather than increasing it. So you can see here, it's a great ride across Tower Bridge. Worse for yourself, what do you mean? I'm at the back. What's the matter with you? So apologies for showing you the side of my face for most of today. It is something I'll have to work on. If I can put it further across and use the zoom function effectively, I should be able to still take it from there, and we'll see. But it's been good. Hope you found it entertaining. There's vandalism all. I'll have to have a look at what that means, Daniel, thank you. So we've got half a kilometre to go. Cool. So here we are at the finish, and a quick photo finish because I like that. Shows what we averaged, 111, 191 as an average. And a quick calculation shows 191 divided by my weight, 2.93 watts per kilo. So slightly above the ride average, but that's what you'd expect for a sweep. So thank you very much, guys. I'm going to leave Zwift there, jump into my stream program, OBS. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the feedback, Louis. And good to see everybody. Hope you had a nice time. We will see you soon. Thanks, guys.